You see it all the time, right? But what if that little cookie banner wasn't just an annoyance? What if it was actually a negotiation? Today, we're going to look at it through a whole new lens.
You know the one. You land on a site, you're trying to read something, and bam, there it is, the consent banner. And let's be honest, most of us, myself included, have this muscle memory where we just click accept all and get on with it.
It feels like such a tiny, insignificant click, but it's actually the start of a transaction. And in that split second, we're giving something away. The real question is, what are we giving? And maybe more importantly, what are we getting in return? Now, this is where it gets really interesting. If we pull in this great concept from project management, a benefit isn't just a thing, it's something a stakeholder, in this case, you, the user, perceives as valuable. It's all about that perception of value. So, let's totally reframe that little box. It's not just a legal hoop to jump through, it's the opening offer in a negotiation. A negotiation about your data, your experience, and the value that both you and the website are hoping to get out of this interaction. In the business world, professionals use tools like this. It's called a benefits dependency network to literally map out how their actions create real value. It's all about connecting the dots from what they do to an outcome to a real benefit for someone. And honestly, this is exactly the kind of clear thinking that should be happening behind every single cookie banner. Okay, so if it's a negotiation, we need to understand the terms, right? Let's dive in and break down what's actually on the table when you consent to these cookies. These are the absolute basics, the things that have to be there for the conversation to even start. First, you've got the table stakes, the strictly necessary cookies. The law is pretty clear that a site can use these without asking because, well, the site literally breaks without them. They do things like remember your session, keep you logged in, and handle basic security. So this part isn't really a negotiation, it's just what it takes to use the service at all. Now we're getting into the things the website owner is asking for in exchange for the content or service they're giving you. These are what we call statistics or analytics cookies. They gather anonymous information about how you use the site. You know, which pages you visit, how long you stay. This is a clear benefit for the website owner. It helps them see what's working and what's not, so they can make the whole thing better for everyone. It's a pretty reasonable exchange of value, all things considered.
And this is where the negotiation gets a lot more complex, and frankly, the stakes get a whole lot higher.
Marketing cookies are a whole different beast. Their job isn't just to see what you do on one site, but to track you across the internet. They're building a detailed profile of your interests so they can show you targeted ads on completely different websites. This really gets to the heart of the trade-off. Sure, you might see more relevant ads, but an entire ecosystem of advertisers now knows what you've been looking at. So who are these third parties? Who else is sitting at this negotiation table that you just joined without even knowing it? The sheer scale might actually surprise you. 91. That's the number of marketing cookies we found listed in the privacy policy of just one professional website. When you click Accept All, you're not just making an agreement with one company. You're potentially opening the door to dozens, sometimes hundreds of other companies.
And look, these aren't obscure little companies. We are talking about Meta for real-time ad bidding, Google for targeted ads, even LinkedIn and TikTok tracking how you use their services when they're embedded on other sites. Each one of these is now a stakeholder getting a benefit from your one single click. The value exchange suddenly looks a lot more complicated, doesn't it?
So what's the right way to handle this negotiation? Because the real payoff isn't just getting consent. It's about what that consent really represents.
A business really has two paths it can take. The first is the path of compliance. That's just doing the legal minimum, putting up a banner to avoid a fine. But the second path, the path of trust, goes way beyond that. It's about earning that consent through real clarity and transparency. It's about building a relationship, not just checking a box to avoid a penalty. Because at the end of the day, there is one benefit that outweighs all the data and all the tracking in the world. This quote just nails it. Value, or benefit, is ultimately defined by the user. If the user doesn't see the value in the exchange, if they feel confused, or even a little bit tricked, then no real value has been created. In fact, you've probably just destroyed value. So here's the ultimate takeaway. True benefits management, especially in this digital world, demands transparency. Clearly explaining the terms of the negotiation isn't just some ethical duty. It's the smartest way to do business. It shows respect for your most important stakeholder, the user, and it turns a moment of simple compliance into a real opportunity to build lasting trust.
That cookie banner is often the very first interaction, the first handshake a person has with your brand. So the question we should all be asking is this: what kind of negotiation are you starting? Is it one that builds a foundation of trust, or one that quietly breaks it before the relationship has even had a chance to begin?